Welcome back to the off-grid property. It is August 1st, 2025. I have not put out a video since January of this year. I have been up here once since then. I was up here in April. Why have I been going for so long? Well, I had trouble getting up here between January and April. Just things weren't lining up as far as schedule, and I had stuff going on at home and the weather, and anyways, couldn't do it. But I was up here for 4 or 5 days in April, and I recorded quite a bit, but after reviewing the video, I was kind of all over the place. Some of it was long and drawn out, and I didn't want to put it into one video. It was going to be too much. So I've decided I'm going to break it down into a couple different videos. I'm going to cut the heck out of it, and yeah, I'll be posting that sometime here in the near future. But I'm up here today, or this weekend, because of this. This is a new to me 2003 Ford Expedition Eddie Bauer with the 2-valve 5.4 liter Triton V8 engine, and it is 4-wheel drive. Now, if you know anything about Fords, particularly the older vehicles, with the Triton 5.4, there's a lot of hate on these engines. But this is the 2-valve model or version of the engine, and they're much better than the later engines, the 3 valves and so on. So it's a pretty simple engine. The only issue with these engines is, primarily anyways, is the spark plugs. They tend to shoot right out of the head. I've experienced that before. I had a 1998 Ford F-250 with the same engine in it. And I was on a road trip climbing a mountain, and spark plug shot right out of the head. And anyways, very costly repair. They never fixed it right. And I ended up trading that truck in on the truck that you may have seen on my earliest videos here, the Nissan Titan that I had. But let's get back to this. This is going to be my new ranch truck, if you will. I wasn't planning on buying this. A couple months ago, I was just looking around Facebook Marketplace, looking at old pickup trucks, because I've been wanting to get something back out here on the ranch for a long time. Something that I can come out here and beat up on and not tear up my truck. So, but I came across this, and the description, it was funny. She wasn't sugarcoating much. She said it was old, beat up, and pretty nasty, pretty dirty. And that was not a lie. But she did say it ran. So I went and took a look at it. It was only a couple miles from my house where I live, and she wasn't joking. This thing was beat up. Particularly the inside. The inside was just wrecked. Disgusting, filthy, nasty. I don't even know how to explain it. I don't know if they were living in this thing or what, but they had kids, and there's food and spills and stuff that's been baked on and sweat and just nasty. Nasty. But I decided to look past all that because I knew I could take care of that in the future. She said the thing had been sitting in her driveway for a little over a year, and nobody had bought it. And she had it priced really low. Believe it or not, $1,200. Yeah, $1,200. But I threw a battery in it, and I wanted to see how the engine sounded. And it fired right up. and the engine actually sounded pretty darn good. It was idling nice, no valve train noise, none of those noises where it stands out. You're like, oh, yeah, I'm not buying that. I got none of that from this. So I was already intrigued there. And then I asked her if I could move it in her driveway a little bit just to see if the transmission worked. She said, yeah, sure, go ahead. So I did. I pulled it forward, backed it up, everything works. But that was it. That was all that was good about this car. Everything else was wrecked. So lots of stuff. The windows, both the front windows didn't roll up or down. I had to replace the regulators and the motors in those, and the buttons, the switches inside to roll up the windows. Now they work fine. The brake lights didn't work. I replaced the brake light switch. The tires were all old, dry rotted, and heavily cracked. I replaced those. There's so much I can't even think about. We'll get into the inside here. You know what? We'll do that right now because I'm going to pop the hood. So, it did not look like this before. These are seat covers because the seats are pretty thrashed, but black. Goo everywhere, spills everywhere, nasty. This was black. I cleaned it. It's still a little hard, but it's not black anymore. That was black from nasty hands over the years. Let's see. Yeah, seat covers, steering wheel cover, because I couldn't get all the nastiness off of that. I put a new stereo in it, new speakers, so it's got a decent little sound system in it. Floor mats, vacuumed the crap out of it. Wiped everything down. Popped the hood. AC did not work. Headlights didn't work. Liftgate struts were blown out. I replaced those. Hood struts were blown out. I replaced those. New headlights, bought new assemblies, bulbs. This headlight didn't even have the plug for the turn signal bulb. It was gone. All right, lots of stuff went on in here. So I drove it home the day I bought it, and it did okay for sitting for over a year in a driveway, but I knew it needed a tune-up. So first thing I did on this was my son and I, he's got all the equipment to do it, but we tried diagnosing the AC, and we learned that there's a dryer accumulator. These shiny lines right there, that's new. That was old and needed to be replaced. So we evacuated what little refrigerant was left in the AC. I bought and replaced the dryer accumulator, recharged it, and the AC works amazing. It gets cold in there, and it's front and rear AC. But once I did that, the car started overheating because I live in the desert and it gets hot there. It's 110, whatever, 108, 110, 115 there. So car started overheating. I figured, okay, it needs to be flushed and new thermostat. Well, drained all the coolant out of it, and I found some coolant leaks back here. All the shiny clamps, that's all new. Goes all the way back to the heater core. There was a leak there. There were 2 leaks here. A leak down there. But there's vacuum leaks in here that I ended up finding and fixing, like everywhere. What else? Yeah, so I go to replace the thermostat, and when I'm putting the new one back in, I'm starting to tighten the bolts down, and one of them snaps right off deep inside the head. So, big problem. Tried everything I could to extract it with different tools. Went out and bought stuff to extract it. It wasn't coming out. So, all of this had to come off. I took all of this off. I cleaned the throttle body, which was filthy inside. It was black and gooey and nasty. Cleaned that. New EGR valve. New vacuum solenoids. I ended up replacing the intake manifold because the other one was kind of nasty. I was very reluctant to do it, but I did change all of the spark plugs. They all came out no problem, and I got them torqued down to a better torque spec than what is recommended so they don't blow out in the future. Got the bolt stuck out of the head, got that out, and yeah, put the new manifold on. Got it all back together, and it started running kind of crappy. Crappier than when I first started. So I ended up finding that this, after some trial and error, there's a fuel injector right here. There's several, there's 4 here, but this one, number 2 back, was no good. Somehow it got bad or went bad or got plugged with some of the goo that's in the lines. I don't know, but I replaced it. It ran good after that. By the way, I also replaced all the coils and all of the fuel injector plugs. They were all broken, so I had to replace all of those. Replaced all the sensors on here. New head temperature sensor, new knock sensor, new air intake temperature sensor, new MAF sensor underneath, new filter. Of course, the battery. Had to rewire all of this because this was all screwed up. Let's see, new belt, new tensioner, and one of the pulleys on that side of the engine was starting to sound pretty nasty, so I replaced it. And then I eventually replaced all of the injectors because I wanted them all to be new and clean, and yeah. So I did all that, replaced the fuel filter. Man, there's so much stuff I've done to this thing. I'm forgetting stuff, guys. There's so much I've done to it. Let's see, new door handles. They both broke when I was taking the panels off. Took the tint off this window. It was horrible. Couldn't see through it. Yeah, what else? It has a tow package, and the wiring works because I towed that little trailer right there up here with it. So this does have a 3rd row seat, which I don't ever plan to use. I'm going to use this thing kind of like a truck. Those seats fold down flat out of the way, and this becomes basically a big open space. So you can still see some of the goo that I haven't gotten off yet. Just everywhere. This stuff was everywhere. Oh, look at that. Just nasty. Haven't gotten to this space yet to clean it up. I just focused on where people are going to be. I did test out the 4-wheel drive. It works good. Changed the oil. It had the wrong oil filter on it. It had some dinky little thing, looked like a motorcycle oil filter on it. Whoever maintained this thing, or didn't maintain it, but whoever had it did a terrible job. Just half-assed everything. The only thing I didn't fix on this yet is, and I'm probably not going to, the clock spring in the steering wheel, I believe, has gone out. Airbag lights on, horn doesn't work, and the buttons for cruise control most of the time didn't work. Sometimes I can get them to work, but most of the time they didn't. Those 3 things are typical of a bad clock spring. I've already changed one of those out before in another car. I just don't feel like doing it in this car, so I'm probably just going to leave it. Yeah, so lots of work. I have new fog lights for it. These are nasty blacked out fog lights, like totally defeats the purpose of a fog light. A blacked out fog light. Makes no sense. Stupid. I've got to replace the boots for the power steering. They're leaking, but that's not a big deal. Everything else on this thing works. It's got decent power for what it is. It's old, guys. 212,000 miles this thing has. And it runs and idles like a top. It sounds great. Hell, I'll even fire it up for you. So, I don't know if you can see it way down in there. 212,692 miles. She sounds good, guys. She runs good. This thing's a gas hog. It does not do well. Before the new injectors, the best I could get on the freeway at 70 miles per hour, flat, was 15 miles a gallon. After replacing the injectors, it now gets 16 miles a gallon. But in town, it's terrible, so it does not do well on fuel. She's not pretty. She's got some blemishes. I don't know if you can see it. There's somebody keyed the crap out of this car at some point. It goes all the way around. There, along this side. Don't worry about all this stuff. That was my fault. It comes right off. It's just oil. She doesn't smoke at all. No valve chain noise. No nothing. It sounds good. Runs good. So good that I was willing to drive it all the way up this mountain from my home. It did about 350 miles. And I went from about 100 foot above sea level to where we are now, 6,300 feet. And I was towing a trailer with, I don't know, close to 1,000 pounds in it, plus the trailer, so a couple thousand pounds. Yeah, good little car. So that thing's gonna live here from now on, and I will be driving it around here instead of my truck. Truck's back home. I'll be doing a video on that shortly, on things I've done to it. But yeah, I've probably spent about $1,500 on this car. That includes the tires, cheap tires I got from Walmart. Had good reviews, very inexpensive, all-terrains. And then all the other stuff I've bought and repaired on this thing probably total out to about 1,500 bucks. So all in all, I'm in this car for close to 3 grand. Let's just say 3 grand to keep it simple. 3 grand for a vehicle, a V8 4x4 SUV that runs great and has amazing air conditioning. That's huge. Believe it or not, the money wasn't much. It was the labor involved in doing this, and most of the work was done at, 105 to 110 degrees outside. So it took me a long time to do it, but it's worth it, for let's just say 3 grand. I've got a 4x4 SUV that I can just tear up around here, and it's now very reliable. So it's worth it to me. Okay, so I towed this trailer up here because I needed to get rid of some wheels. Nobody wanted them. Those came off of my Super Duty. That's some of the work I did to it, and you'll see that here in the next video or so. And I want to bring a little dirt bike back up here. So that's what those are doing up here. I don't know if you can tell, the ground is just completely tore up. It's chunky. Very, very chunky. So it rained pretty good here, I don't know, month or so ago, maybe longer. But massive amounts of cattle came through here, just herds and herds of them. And that's what they do. They just walk around in the mud and just tear up the ground and break stuff and get mud everywhere. So I'll have to deal with that here in a little bit. But yeah, everything else is going pretty good. I got the little cabin air conditioner going right now. It's about 90 degrees out here right now. But I got the AC running off the little Honda generator, and it is nice and cool in there. It's 73 degrees in there. 73 and dry. There's a little AC over there. But yeah, everything else is good. I'm gonna take the new ranch truck over and see if my neighbor's home and go say hi to him. So, all right, get back with you guys in a little bit. Okay, it's the next day. There was something I forgot to mention about this car that I wanted to bring up. This thing has virtually almost no rust on it anywhere. The frame is solid. I don't know if you can see the frame in there. It's got a little bit of surface at the bottom, just light surface rust. There's another frame rail. But really, everywhere else, just no rust at all. Which means that this car has probably lived its life here in the Arizona Southwest desert, if I had to guess. Because it's solid, there's no rust. Yeah, I feel like it probably has been in this area for most, if not all of its life. and probably has never seen snowy, salted roads. If I had to guess, here's the front of the frame, front of the front tire there. So yeah, I just wanted to make sure I pointed that out, because I'm sure somebody will ask or say, hey, is that why it was so cheap? Because it's just rusted out. It's not rusted out at all. There's almost no rust at all. So solid car. Okay, enough with the car. I went ahead and unloaded the trailer and went over here. They basically pulled everything out of this cargo trailer. If you guys have been watching the channel, you know I've been using this trailer as basically a storage shed. I pulled everything out, sorted it all out, cleaned it up, and yeah, it's a lot nicer in here now. I can actually get in here and get stuff if I need to. I got all my Super Duty truck wheels, including the spare, sitting there. These are older, well, they're new trailer tires that I took off my equipment hauler. Yeah, organized. Sorry it's dark in here, I'll turn a light on. Got the fan going over there. It's pretty warm in here. Okay, organized all my lumber here. Some of that, actually a lot of that came out of that trailer, so. It's almost 90 degrees. I think it's 89 degrees right now and 73 inside there, so very nice. I'm gonna pack up, clean up some stuff, and then I'll be getting a ride out of here shortly, because this is staying here. So, all right, you guys, take care, be safe, and I'll see you in the next video.